Whoa! Whoa! Video games, am I right?
Hi, I'm that girl's brother or something. I don't fucking know. Am I interrupting anything?
Yeah, not really. I'm not even playing anything. Well, there's a callback and a half, ain't it? Eh? You remember that? The very first RadicalSoda episode? When there was nothing on the screen? Fuck, we're calling back to it now! That's pretty fucking
In that case, I wanted to show you my new smartphone.
Looks like shit.
It is. Doesn't fucking run anything.
Well, how about I tell you about a cool app which your phone definitely can use?
Sounds good. What is it?
It's Amino! Holy shit, that is a terrible green screen. Amino is a wonderful place where all of your dreams can come true. Where lots of people come together to worship fandoms such as Sonic. In the Sonic Amino, you can see such great stuff such as this. That's pretty cool. Not only is there things like that, but you can also go into a chat room or go into voice chats to talk about the stuff with people. I can't wait to join a voice room chat and talk to people who enjoy the same stuff as me. Hello, I like Sonic.
I also like Sonic, but I do not like Sonic. How dare you!
There's even a RadicalSoda Amino. It's not made by me, but it's there. You can hop along and find. Oh shit! Somebody made some puppy art. Hey, it's pretty cool.
Oh gee, this Amino thing sounds pretty cool. I might just decide to use it. Hey, wait, where are you going? And why do you have a suspiciously large wad of cash in your hands? Hey, wait a minute. This is a sponsorship, isn't it? You used me for your own monetary gain!
Living in the city.
It's like a roller coaster.
Sonic the Hedgehog voice actors, let's get right on into it. You're not here to watch me do a stupid skit. Anyway, we've had a lot of Sonic the Hedgehog voice actors in the past. We've got voice actors for Sonic, for Knuckles, and Mr. Big. Every time I review a Sonic game, I've got to stop myself from going too in-depth about all these voice actors, and that's because, well, there's a wasp trying to get in. Don't come in here. In this video, I'm going to go through every character's voice actors in the Sonic the Hedgehog series and express my thoughts on each of them. I'm not going to include Jaleel White or any of the other old show voice actors, mainly because I don't really have any experience watching them, and also, I really don't want to. Now, I think a very good starting point would be, well, Sonic. So, let's start all the way back to his very first speaking role, Sonic CD.
Yes!
It was a little hard to judge just based on one word, Sonic. Can you say anything else?
Yeah!
Okay.
I'm out of here!
Oh, fuck you. Weird place to start, but it seems that the Sonic OVA is actually the oldest form of Sonic media I know where he actually talks. Sonic here is voiced by Martin Burke, who I actually hadn't even heard of until I started making this video. Here he sounds...
Not right now, thanks.
different. I don't hate it, but I definitely don't love it either. It sort of suits the way Sonic looks in the OVA, so I have no problems with it there. But could you imagine modern Sonic with this voice?
We don't have time to play little games with you. Get out of our way!
You know, actually not as bad as I thought it would be. Nevertheless, we'll likely never hear this kind of Sonic again, what with classic Sonic being a completely mute hedgehog with no emotion whatsoever. So it's nice to know we'll always have this anyway.
Shut up, Tails!
You thought you could trick me with that fake emerald, didn't you?
So, how did you know it wasn't the real one?
Shut up, Tails!
Gotta connect the framostatic capacitor to the maximizing modulationizer.
Shut up, Tails!
Next up is Sonic Adventure, or should I say Ryan Drummond. Sonic Adventure not only blasted Sonic into the third dimension, or the Sonic Blast really blasted... well, it blasted something, but it also gave Sonic his first speaking role in a game. Ryan Drummond, in my opinion, is probably the best pick we've had for Sonic so far. Of course, he wasn't a great Sonic right off the bat. Remember that Sonic Shuffle exists.
Well, one thing's for sure, we stumbled into a very strange place.
But however, he did bring a young energy to Sonic, something he amplified with the later games, apart from Sonic Shuffle. But in Adventure, it feels like he was just kind of getting his footing. The weird animation and other bad voice acting doesn't help either. I feel like he was at his best in Sonic Heroes, of course. I generally think that everyone agrees on that. Sonic's voice in Heroes is somewhat different to that of Adventure 1 and 2's. It sounds a little more higher pitched? I'm not sure exactly how to describe it. Here, see if you can tell the difference.
Time for some supersonic speed!
Catch me if you can!
Whoa, whoa! I sure don't want to fall off from here.
Tails, Knuckles, give it all you got! Full speed ahead!
Interesting stuff. It really shows how Drummond could have evolved even more if Sega had kept him on. Of course, that didn't happen because in Shadow the Hedgehog instead we got...
Hey, Shadow. Long time no see. Looks like these black creatures really mean business.
God damn it, racist Sonic. Jason Griffith takes the stage as Sonic the Hedgehog. I think it's pretty clear that a lot of people didn't like the switch. Sonic didn't sound as energetic, he lacked the classic Sonic attitude. Of course, as always, me being the most perceptive, intelligent Sonic fan at the time, I didn't notice a goddamn thing. I remember actually being surprised when I found out that it was someone else. To me at least, Sonic still sounded, well, like Sonic. Of course, I was just a kid at the time, so I can go back now and see what I missed and give it a good old look over, and man, he's not as bad as some say. He's an acceptable Sonic in this game. Griffith only improved from here on out, and sure, he wasn't exactly an energetic, attitude-filled Sonic, and sure, everyone makes fun of his Sonic voice, including me. He's my favorite Sonic to impersonate.
Who does he think he is? I don't know, Knuckles. Let's just go and do this race, because if we don't do the race, I'll die.
I'm sorry, Sonic, but I don't think I can do this race because I'm really sad.
Tails, that's okay. Even if I am gonna die, I don't care.
But I do, Sonic, because I'm a pussy.
But he's still a good Sonic. What he lacked in attitude, he made up for in, well, in other stuff, character development in general. Instead of Knuckles being surprised he was actually thanked by Sonic, Sonic's just handing out these compliments. It's all about friendship and going out of his way to help people, which is something I imagine Drummond Sonic doing no problem, minus the whole speech thing he's got going on in games like the Black Knight and Secret Rings. But they changed Sonic to match with this kind of personality. Sonic as a character drastically changed during the Griffith era. We had Sonic X, of course, where Sonic would just lounge about more than actually run, probably because it was cheaper to animate. There are some really off-model sketches in this anime? It's an anime, right? And there was, of course, Elise! We'll, just ignore that one. I don't think it was any of the voice actors' fault how that game turned out. After 06, there was, of course, Unleashed, and of course the Secret Rings, but I haven't actually seen much of that one. And Sonic had a new design which worked specifically with his personality and voice, and a lot of people lean towards this being Griffith's best performance, along with the black creatures. I gotta agree, Griffith was comparatively much better here than in 06, but then again, a lot of things are comparatively better than 06. He was steadily improving, although not quite as fast as Drummond, but he was improving nevertheless, and people were really thinking of him as Sonic at that point. So for Sonic Colors, what did Sega do? Get rid of him, of course, and in came Roger. Good old boulder punching Roger Craig Smith.
Baldy nose hair!
He fucking sucked. Don't get me wrong, I don't blame him. Roger's performance in Colors was made 10 times worse by the writers who had no experience in Sonic whatsoever. Now whether his voice suits Sonic or not, that's a different question. Sonic was given a new design in Adventure, and then Adventure 2 to suit a voiced Sonic, one to suit Drummond's energy and attitude. Sonic was then again remodeled after Shadow the Hedgehog, and then again after 06, because that one didn't really suit and they also needed to expunge it from as many brains as possible, to suit Griffith's more laid-back and friendly Sonic. They didn't do that to Sonic here. Instead, they just left him the way he was. Heck, in Lost World, they made him look even more like the Adventure counterpart by shortening him up a bit. You know, less legs, shorter spines, that sort of thing. I'm assuming this was done because Sega was listening to how the fans thought Sonic was too lanky or whatever. They have a problem with listening too much, but I don't want to get into that today. The main issue here is Sonic did not sound like Sonic anymore. He sounded like a bad impersonation of Sonic. But here's the thing, I don't think Roger's a bad Sonic. I think he's a brilliant Sonic. And Sonic Boom. In Sonic Boom, Sonic's personality and design has been changed to actually suit Roger, as Sonic was changed to suit Griffith before him. Sonic's now a bit more sarcastic, he's a bit more lazy, a bit more witty, a bit more human. He feels like an actual character, not just a jumble of 90s words in a hedgehog-shaped box. You see Sonic interacting with his friends in Boom and it feels like it should, a gang of chums hanging out doing regular friends stuff. Sonic has weaknesses, he's got flaws, and that's great, but it's not because he has these flaws that he works as a character here. Well, I mean, it's one of the reasons, but it's mainly more because of A, the good writing, and B, because of the disconnect between this Sonic and the game Sonic. The game Sonic, on the other hand, seems to want to be every Sonic at once. Nobody liked the childish writing of colors, so now Sonic's whiny and depressed. Nobody liked that, so now Sonic's taking lines from heroes, making speeches about the power of friendship and shit. This is awful writing. I haven't seen a single well-written Roger game yet. Ryzalera gets his personality right for the most part, but the story's pretty jank, so I can't exactly say it did it well. Sega seems to have forgotten that the whole power of friendship thing was made up by the fans. Sonic conveyed the power of friendship and heroes by simply saying,
because we're Sonic heroes.
And okay, I did forget about this at the time of writing this video, but it's still not shoved down your throat as much as Enforcers. Corny, yes, but it gets the point across without ramming it down your throat. However, Enforcers...
But I had a little help from my friend. Something you wouldn't understand. The things that can't be defeated are heart, soul, and the bonds of friendship.
They're not trying to write for Roger, they're trying to write for nostalgia. And failing terribly. However, Roger isn't without his faults, even without the bad writing. The simple fact is that he doesn't suit modern Sonic very well, so it always generally feels off when Sonic's too happy or trying to be energetic. He also seems to have trouble screaming as Sonic. I notice this a lot with the different voice actors, but he stands out the most, probably because he's the most fresh in my mind. Nobody ever yells anymore, with the exception of Eggman. When Sonic yells in these games, he doesn't do a
go!
Or a ah! It's more of a Sonic's dying here. Can we have a bit more emotion, please? Of course, this might not be the problem with the acting, more of the voice itself. It might be really hard to yell in that specific Sonic voice. I've had trouble yelling while doing voices too, although they were usually really high-pitched, and of course I'm not a professional voice actor. So let's wrap up Sonic so far. Drummond. Probably the best we're ever gonna hear when it comes to suiting Sonic as a concept. It probably wouldn't work with the modern design we have now though, as he's changed so much since then. Griffith, I like him. He offers a different side to Sonic, which I do like, and I feel they had finally gotten to a point where he could grow as Sonic with the Unleashed model, but, you know. Roger. I think the hatred for Roger comes purely from the bad writing and how his voice just doesn't suit modern, especially how they keep changing his design to look more and more cute. Less leg, shorter spines, and a lighter blue color. He nails Boom Sonic, but seeing as how the Boom game was the next Sonic 06 in many's eyes, there's probably no hope for a game with a solid Sonic anytime soon, seeing as how they want to keep the two universes as separate as possible right now. And that's that. Thank you all so much for watching. Fuck, there's more characters, aren't there? Miles Tails Prower, the fox with a box. And socks. On an ox. Like Sonic, Tails has also had a bunch of voice actors. Let's start from the start and start with the start of the OVA. Start it up.
You kidnapped the president and Sarah so you can hold them for ransom and take over Shut up, Tails!
Lainey Fraser. Is it Lainey? Lainey Fraser created a cute, kind of blocked up Tails, and I have no problems with it whatsoever. He sounds like a cute kid. What, you gonna tell me this isn't adorable?
Thank you, Robotnik.
Adventure Tails, on the other hand, was voiced by an actual kid, Corey Bringus.
Uh-oh, what's this?
Call me weird, but I can't stand kids playing kids in games or animated movies. I prefer characters with voices I'd never imagine coming out of an actual person. So lo and behold, I don't like Tails much here. Nor in Adventure 2, where it was actually voiced by Connor Bringus, Corey's younger brother. It's just hard to get into it when it sounds like the lines are being read off a script. Now moving on to heroes.
It's a fate?
I actually really like this version of Tails. William Corkery, son of ESPIO and brother of CHARMY B, not really, but you know what I mean, played Tails in Heroes and never again afterwards. I actually really like him here. He doesn't suit any of the other versions of Tails, but you just look at this one and tell me he wouldn't have a cute voice. He's also the one who cemented the famous Whee! So there's that. Tails still actually had the exact same design, same as the rest of the characters, when Shadow the Hedgehog rolled around, so when William Corkery was replaced with Amy Pallant, I received a small shock when we went from
I'll take care of this!
to
Shadow! We're in big trouble!
Ah, Tails! What happened to your penis? Get it because he sounds like a girl? Now, while Tails did sound an awful lot like a girl, it was nice to get a solid voice actor who could, you know, act. So that was nice. Pallant was of course replaced with Kate Higgins when Colors rolled around, who had the pleasure of reading lines such as,
He says his name is Talks a Lot, and he's from a faraway soda, and where flowers water them with dances. An evil dolphin? Sounds like they're in shock because of public transportation and a loony nurse.
At least you didn't get
baldy nose hair!
Baldy nose hair.
Oh, right. Kate Higgins of course got better and better with Sonic Boom. What? I didn't even know. When did this this happen? Okay, so Colleen Villard does a great job in Boom, but of course Tails is insufferable in Forces. Not her fault. That's just the bad writing screwing everything up again. So what's up with Nux? We have Bill Wise voicing him in the OVA, which is
Sonic, grab a hold.
different.
Thanks for saving us there, Knuckles. Yeah, that's one more job I won't get paid for, but I've known you for a while, so I'll just put it on your tab, and you can pay me back later on.
I thought that sentence was going to end at 3 different times during that. Hey there, Knuckles. Thanks for helping us there. So how about...
Yeah, that's one more job I won't get paid for.
So how...
But I've known you for a while.
So how...
So I'll just put it on your tab.
So...
And you can pay me back later on.
Knuckles in Adventure was voiced by Michael McGann.
Oh no!
McGann was replaced in Sonic Shuffle by Brian Drummond. What?
What is this place? What is this place?
Ah, now of course we have Scott Dreyer. Dreyer? God damn, he's a good Knuckles. Calm, confident, sexy, ready to fight. He was, of course, tossed aside along with the other voice actors when Shadow the Hedgehog came around, and Dan Green took his place. He did a good job as Knuckles. I knew something was different about Knuckles when I played Shadow the Hedgehog as a kid, but I couldn't quite put my finger on it. This was also around the time where the fans started getting pissy that Knuckles was getting tricked by Eggman a lot. It happened a bunch in Sonic X, if I remember correctly. Oh, what's this? Adult anime films? Oh, no, I feel bad. And god damn it, Mike Pollock, as if I didn't already love you, now I gotta love you even more? From Sonic Freeriders onwards, Knuckles was voiced by Travis Hampton Willingham. Sorry, the name's just too fancy to say it any other way. Similar to Sonic, but not quite as extreme. I find he doesn't suit Knuckles as well as Scott Dreyer. Then again, I don't really like the Knuckles model we have right now anyway, so I might just be prejudiced against that. Similar to Sonic, again though, he's great in Boom, and Dumb Knuckles is my favorite iteration we've had so far. Hey, shut up, he's great. I think this comes from Sega refusing to give Knuckles a solid personality in the games, no matter who is voicing him. I'm all in for changing a personality slightly to make sure it suits the voice actor, but when you go from this...
Wait a minute, just the one? Weak. I would have gotten them all back by now.
To this...
Happy to see you're all still alive. Eggman's forces have chewed through our defenses at Green Hill, and the resistance in the city is reporting that whatever it is that finished Sonic... Sorry, I'm still not used to saying that.
It throws us off a bit. Another case where Sega listens to the fans, but goes a bit too far. When someone asks for a serious Knuckles, they don't mean turn him into a war general. Literally. God, Knuckles was a war general. Shadow the Hedgehog. Finally, one who doesn't have a billion voice actors. First up is David Humphrey, who just fucking nails it. Adventure 2 Shadow sounds a little off at times, but Hero Shadow is just listen.
Who do they think they are? What a bunch of annoying punks. Let's take care of them first. And I wasn't even trying.
Best Shadow voice, 10 out of 10, no exceptions. When Shadow the Hedgehog rolled around, Sega did the unthinkable and, you guessed it, got rid of God's gift to man and replaced him with, well, would you look who it is? He even kind of looks like Shadow the Hedgehog. Griffith not only voiced Sonic at the time, but also Shadow. That's pretty cool in all honesty. As a kid I didn't notice the switch of course, but he does a good job all in all. Still sounds very Shadowy, but a little over the top when it comes to the whole brooding, dark, mysterious vibe that Shadow has. He always sounds like he's kind of whispering.
As I fought off the soldiers who sought to take Maria's life, I felt my hatred for humanity return.
Of course, when I learned Shadow had yet another new voice actor when Freeriders hit the shelves. And didn't leave them. I had to check it out for myself, and not buy the game, of course. What am I, stupid? But listen to it on YouTube at least. And I listened all right.
Pageantry aside, we're here to win. You can be sure of that.
He sounds like a villain. Surprisingly, so much that the Boom series went so far to actually make him one. Kirk Thornton is my least favorite Shadow. It's a very slow, again, villainous take on a character which is generally seen as a good guy, or at the very least an anti-hero. I don't hate it by any means, but it's even more whispery than Griffith's. You can practically feel the air coming out of his mouth when he talks. Of course, we can't forget about the classic,
"You've got this, Sonic."
And Shadow was handled a bit better in Forces, surprisingly. He sounds alright there, still a little bit slow, but alright nevertheless.
Don't show your pathetic face around me ever again.
Now, if only we could fucking hear him. Amy Rose. She hasn't had a bad voice actor yet, per se. Jennifer Douliard does a nice job up until Heroes.
Sonic would love me to death.
Lisa Ortiz continued from Shadow the Hedgehog up until Black Knight, same as the other Shadow the Hedgehog voice actors.
Maybe you should try breaking that. You shouldn't break things like that.
This can't be.
And she did a really nice job. It was a little more girly, a little more emotional, a really solid take on Amy. Although I would say it does not suit modern Amy whatsoever. The model we have now is quite frankly terrible. Looks almost as bad as the 06 version. Cindy Robertson took over soon thereafter and ha 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 ha, Minnie Mouse, ha ha ha, funny joke.
You saved me, Sonic. I was afraid I'd never be able to flirt with you again.
No, really, not a very good pick for Amy. Soon enough, she changed it up for Boom, which also changed her voice in the main series as well, thank goodness. And
studios should stop recycling the same tired old properties and make something original for once.
it's pretty good. I mean, it's Amy. I don't care as much for her as I do the other four, but it's nice to have someone that had that evolution. It's a good voice where it's at right now. Just change that fucking model. God, it's terrifying. Mr. Big.
I want Froggy.
Anyone can voice Big the Cat, really. John St. John did a good job portraying him. He's the same guy who voiced Duke Nukem, a series which I have no interest or knowledge in whatsoever. But I always hear that fact in other people's videos, so here it is for the 10 billionth time. I didn't have a problem with Mr. Big when I first played Sonic Heroes. Only when I started on Sonic Adventure did I start to loathe the fat purple piece of shit. Then again, I didn't really like Adventure all too much, save some specific parts, so whatever. I also call him Mr. Big because that's what I knew him as in Heroes. Amy and Cream both call him Mr. Big, so I just thought that was what everyone called him. Come to think of it, has any other Sonic characters actually said Mr. Big's name other than Amy and Cream? I sincerely don't know. I know he's had other voice actors, apparently in Sonic Colors, the DS version? Did they even have voice clips in that? Anyhow, there's not enough to go on there, so let's just head on to Cream the Rabbit. I guess Feel the Rabbit wasn't bad enough. Fuck you, Internet, for making me even begin to thinking of a name like that. Cream has been voiced by 3 different people. Sarah Wolfeck, Rebecca Honig. Honig? Is that really her name? Did I write that wrong? What was it? Rebecca Honig. No, that's her. Who also played Maria in Shadow the Hedgehog, and she will not be later on in this video, so let's just say she sounded like a girl. What do you want me to say? And Michelle Ruff. My favorite is Sarah Wolfeck. Her voice isn't as high-pitched as the other two, which makes her a lot easier to listen to, and you can also use her name in a lot of situations. I mean, there's a lot of things... Oh. Hello?
I'm sorry, sir, but everyone you know and love has died in a marching accident.
Well, feck. What the fuck happened to Omega, though? One of the coolest characters in the franchise reduced to an emotionless, well, robot. Listen to John St. John. Oh, holy shit, Big the Cat, really? Learn something new every day.
Kel, our top priority is Eggman. Don't forget that. There's no hiding from me, Eggman.
You see so much shit about Omega being the ultimate fighting robot. He's fast, he's powerful, he fires missiles, he has a sick-ass voice, and then...
Reassess target priorities.
Okay, it's not so bad there, but look at this!
Shadow.
Good fucking God, what happened?
The one that defeats and seals you in the future is me.
And what the hell is with this slow-ass movement? Omega's a fast fucking robot. He doesn't take 14 minutes just to turn the fuck around. Omega is filled with hatred. He loathes anything related to Eggman. He thinks he's the most powerful thing on the planet. So what sort of voice do you think he'd give something like this?
Eventually, when something or someone is seen as too powerful, it is seen as a threat.
Oh yeah, I can just feel the power and hatred just radiating from him. Thankfully they fixed him up a bit in Sonic Forces.
Target reconfirmed. Extermination mode initiated. Payback inevitable.
Or at least I think they did. I'm not quite sure because I still can't fucking hear him! And he's still as stiff as a fucking plank of wood. He moves like a fucking Robo-Sapien. Yeah, remember that shit? Rouge the Bat's up next. Lani Minella did a great job in Heroes and Adventure 2. A really solid voice for Rouge. Fits really well. Kathleen Denali was great as Rouge as well. Both of these voice actors were cocky, confident, a little narcissistic, just in general an I'm better than you approach, which suited Rouge wonderfully.
Man, who are those creeps over there? Just what do you think you're doing here?
Who's this broad?
Sounds like you've got an inferiority complex.
Huh?
I have a what?
Oh, nothing. Never mind, Knuckles.
Then Karen Strassman rolled around, and boy, after that, I sure was carrying stress around. Sorry, that was awful.
You did good out there. It's not like you just waited till the last minute to come in and act all cool, saving the day.
Rouge is now a bat prostitute. Sorry, that's just the way it is now. That's how she's animated, that's how she's written, that's how she's voiced. Eyes always at half, she never gets angry, she never casts any playful insults. She doesn't have any personality whatsoever than, I am the token sexy girl, look at my cleavage, which Sega has been desperately trying to cover up. Look, Sonic Team, I get it, it's a kid's game too, but her proportions are all out of whack now. She looks stupid. All she has to do is glance down slightly and her mouth is on her boobs. Remember Adventure 2? Okay, maybe don't go quite as far as Adventure 2, but it might be beneficial to give her some space between her face and boobs. Boobs don't tend to grow up at neck height. Not that any of these characters have necks. Well, I should stop talking about boobs, shouldn't I? What I'm trying to say here is, these models all suck. Let's get some new expressive ones, please. ESPIO the Chameleon. Bill Corkery is the best, nobody else exists as far as I'm concerned.
Spirits unite!
Victor the Crocodile has had 4 voice actors. Okay, that's a little unfair, isn't it? David Wills voiced ESPIO and Shadow the Hedgehog up until you-know-when, and he did a fairly good job. He's no Corkery, that's for sure, but he's a good ESPIO.
Shadow, thanks for your help earlier. Actually, I need to extract some data out of Eggman's database. Feel like lending me a hand?
Troy Baker voiced ESPIO after that, and I can't say I like his take on it. I get that ESPIO's a ninja and all, and ninjas are quiet, but again, like Rouge and Omega, his personality just kind of evaporated.
Thank you, my friend. Beware, for I have looked into the soul of our enemy, and I saw only darkness.
Surprisingly, in Forces, ESPIO is played by Matt Mercer instead, who you may also know as Leon from Resident Evil 6, Crom from Fire Emblem, and even McCree from Overwatch. Or as I like to call him, Mick McCree. His take on ESPIO is, well, another kind of generic ninja, kind of a mix between Troy Baker and David Wills, or for those who don't have an eidetic memory, the one from Shadow and the one from Generations. I'm just happy he's not whispering at this point. If he spoke any softer than Troy, we probably wouldn't even be able to hear him.
Silver's right. We've been hoping for a miracle these past 6 months, but I'm afraid we have to make our own miracle.
Charmy B is up next. Oh. Charmy sounded alright in Heroes, and like he should, an energetic little bee. He was voiced by Emily Corkery, oh hey, another one. And I don't know whether it's my bias towards Heroes, but the rest all sound a bit poopy to me. Not bad acting per se, just annoying voices. Amy Birnbaum, I hope I wrote that correctly, and that's not just a typo and I said her name completely wrong. Her Charmy just sounds exactly like Max from Pokemon, who she also voiced. Of course, as a kid, I didn't really like Max at all, so, you know. And Colleen Villard, you know, the present Tails, does an okay job, but again, I guess I just find Charmy too annoying. Also, every time I think of him now, all I can think is that one scene in Sonic Forces where they fucked up his eyes. Come on, Sonic Team, what the fuck are you doing? Silver's had 2 voice actors, Pete Capella and Quentin Flynn. Flynn stepped in after Free Riders, and what a surprise. And although they sound mostly the same, my thoughts on the 2 are a little different. Pete Capella did something with Silver that no matter how hard he tries, Flynn will never be able to replicate. Of course, I'm talking about the...
It's no use! Take this!
I like Silver's voice in 06. At times he sounds really stupid, and other he sounds like he's trying really hard to be edgy, but damn it, it's great. Silver isn't a genius. He's a silly character whose personality is described by his dialogue, which mainly consists of him just sounding really confused most of the time. Flynn does an alright job with Silver and Forces. He was in Generations too, but I think he had like 1 line, so who cares. But he suffers from the same shit as Knuckles. They made him a fucking war general. There he is talking about optimism and realism, asking for the sit rep. What the fuck is a sit rep? He's 14, damn it. He should be saying, hey, I've got time travel powers. Maybe I should travel back in time to kill Eggman before he finds the Phantom Ruby. But no, he's wondering if anyone but Infinite believes his lies. And generally doing nothing. This is the guy who kicked Sonic's ass like 7 times and he can't even last 5 seconds against Infinite? Or do anything at all, really? I don't know, Silver's broken as a character. They need to stick him somewhere and just leave him there. I like him, but I don't like the over-serious dialogue, especially coming from him. Of course, you can't speak about Silver without mentioning Blaze. They're all pretty good. They all sound the same, really, to me. No issues here. Just wish we could play as her again. And that is for the main cast. I can't think of anyone else who was a voice in Sonic. Right, I think that's that. Then okay, see you, bye! Now, who the hell would forget about Eggman? Skipping over Russian Robotnik in the OVA. We've only had 2 main Eggmans and they've both been really good. Dean Bristow did a great job in voicing Eggman in practically every game. Well, maybe except for Adventure and Shuffle. There are some offlines here and there, but his voice was great for the role.
You don't have enough memory in the memory card.
When Mike Pollock stood in, we received a slightly more humorous side to Eggman, which has generally led to many calling him and Sonic frenemies. And again, the writers of Sonic Boom took off with this idea, and it works really well. Some don't like Pollock because of his less menacing take, but I like it, and many others do. After all, expecting a guy called Eggman to be serious 100% of the time is a little bit silly in itself.
What time is it? It's the exact same time as when you asked earlier, and it'll be the exact same time when you ask later.
And Pollock can do menacing. His little scene in Lost World comes to mind where he got really violent really quickly. We've never even seen him get this angry over Sonic. The most emotion we see in him in Forces is
Sonic. How I hate him.
Fucking writing, man. One thing I've noticed about Pollock's Eggman is that he slightly mixes it up between Boom and the game series. Boom generally sounds a little higher pitched and a bit more friendly, whereas the game Eggman is a bit more, well, the opposite. Let's wrap this up with the one and only Group of Babylon Rogues. Jet, Wave, and Storm have only had their voices changed once, and as I said, I haven't actually played Free Riders, but I have heard their voices in the game, and I thought it'd be interesting enough to express my opinions on them, in case they ever popped up again. Jet was first voiced by Jason Griffith. Wow, Sonic Shadow and Jet? Surprised they didn't get him to play Silver too. Jet's voices, of course, is the silliest you can get in a Sonic game, save Charmy the Bee. Ugh, flashback to that freaky eye thing. And I love it. I love the character Jet. I love his attitude. I love his voice. He's just a giant cunt in every way. He's stuck up, he's egotistical, he's too proud to accept any help.
Oh, not bad.
Whoops, looks like they used the wrong clip there.
So, you're supposed to be the fastest thing alive?
Of course, Free Riders came along and he was replaced by Michael Yurchak.
I didn't come out here to race. I came here to win this thing.
Oh God, what happened? Everything I know and love has been destroyed. Where's the attitude? Where's the force behind his words? Where's the dicketry? Where's the squawk? Where's Jet the Hawk? Wave lost her attitude too with Free Riders. Now she just kind of sounds like a regular girl. That's all I can really say.
You think you can win with that board? Let's collect the prize and be on our way.
Storm, on the other hand. Oh God, I have no words for Storm. Just listen to regular Storm.
I hope you're ready for this.
There's a certain graveliness to his words. Well, not graveliness, but like a... Now listen to the Free Rider Storm.
Jet the Hawk, leader of the Babylon Rogues, is at the top of his game every day of the week.
He doesn't sound stupid but tough anymore. He just sounds stupid. He went from, I'll make sure to pay you back for this, to, Jet the Hawk is the most powerful guy in the world. I'm gonna my eyes yet. It's like regular Storm and Mr. Big had a baby and out popped Free Rider Storm. I'm surprised he hasn't gone off to catch Froggy yet. Ugh, what happened to these three? I understand if you're not hiring Jason Griffith for Sonic, you won't want him for Jet too, but what about the other two? What's with the downgrade for them? And I think that's where we can leave this video. I hope you got at least a little bit of enjoyment out of it. A bit of a different one. Seeing, you know, what sort of opinions and thoughts I had on these things. It's one I've been wanting to do for a while. So, yeah, as I said before, I hope you got some enjoyment out of it. To those who don't like the voice cast we currently have right now, I say buckle up because I got the feeling they're going to be around for a long time. So I hope they continue to improve and do a wonderful job at portraying our favorite characters. In Boom, anyway. And that's that! If you don't mind me, I'm off to go see what my friends and family think of the Sonic the Hedgehog voice cast. Oh. Ah. Right. Well, at least that means no more beer grills.
Ha! Joke's on you! You didn't love me enough, bitch!
Hey, thanks for watching. If you want to help out the show on Patreon and get the full art of all the poppy art from all the thumbnails of all the videos and 24+ hour early access to Radical Soda episodes before they come out, that'd be a huge help because at the moment I don't have any monetization whatsoever. I'm not fucking kidding. I had to re-enroll for monetization and YouTube still isn't fucking giving it back!